Alright, it's been a while. I thought I'd make a quick video. In this video, I'm just going to have a quick look through how you use Cubase's Arranger Track to quickly make a different arrangement for a track. So this is a really useful feature. It means you can sort of take any track, any stage that you've got, chop it into elements or groups of sections, etc. And then you can move those around on the fly. You can test out different arrangements quickly, and then you can flatten it all at the end to create your final arrangement. So let's just have a quick listen to the track. I like it, but I want to switch it up a little bit. I'm not quite happy how it flows, and I just want to have a little bit of a play around with arrangements to see if I can just get it to flow a bit better and maybe have a bit more impact. So first thing you want to do is go to the top, add track, and we're going to choose the Arranger track, which you'll find underneath the more tracks, and just click Arranger, add track. And as usual, I'll end up sticking it all the way down at the bottom. So let's drag it up to the top. And once we've got this in here, what we can do is create, or we can draw sections. A little tip, because I always have an offset on the beginning. If you don't have that, then that's fine. I always add that into it as well. Otherwise, when you flatten it, it messes around with positioning of stuff. So always capture that as well. So I'm just going to draw sections in here that cover the different bits. So you can see different bits come in there, different elements. So I'm going to draw around the different sections that I've got. And I've now got all of the sections captured in there. And if I go up to here, click on the little E symbol, that will take me into the Arranger editor. So what we can then start doing is start throwing things into that. Now, at the minute, you can see it's not switched on, so it's not active. So it's not going to follow what I'm putting into that. So I'm going to turn that on. We can rename things in there, so we can give those section names. But as we click on them, it's going to play. What we can do is we can then just drag them across here. So I'm going to have a little go at a different sort of arrangement. So I quite like the intro, but I feel like I want a bit of the vocal in the beginning. So I'm going to find the vocal section, drag that in. I think I'll go back to the original. Oh, missed a second section out there. So I'm just going to have a go through and just add a few sections in here and just quickly make an arrangement. So now I've got all those sections set up there. What I can do is I can then hit play at the beginning, and because it's engaged, it will then jump around and go to different sections. Just to show you as well, if you put a section in, you can remove that. And if you drag additional ones on, it will stack them up there. And you can see how many of them are added in sequence. And it also tells you a running total of how long your track actually is up to that point. So I hit play at the beginning. You'll see that it plays through. And if I just skip through, it'll run through into B, because that's our next section. But when we get to what would be C, as we can see it here, it's now jumped across to D. And then it jumps back to C. So that's not necessarily the smoothest sort of transition, but what it is doing is it is putting the things in place, and obviously it's quite quick to do that, and then we can go in and we can adjust transitions, and we can take drums out here and there as well. And if you wanted to, you could then apply this again over the top, and then you could say, right, now I've got a new edit, so maybe I want to sort of move some of those around as well. But what I'm going to do, because I'm now happy with that, hit flatten chain, and then you'll see it's renamed these A1, B1, D1 and all that. And now that will play through and play through in the order that they now are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump to that section there where it kind of feels a bit of a jump. And the main problem in there, I think, is that we've got the bass and we don't need the bass. So I'm going to take that out of there. fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly undo that and go back, because I've just spotted what an issue is there. So I'm actually just going to switch that around to there, because I think actually it'd flow better if it went the other way. Flatten that again, and I can see that I've got that in there. So now we can see we've got the bass there, and then it drops out. But I'm actually going to remove that. Maybe get rid of one of these fills. Nice. So now I've got the vocal in the middle there, and I'll probably reduce the track length by maybe 30 seconds as well, because I've taken a section out, and I think that just flows a little bit better. Really simple to do. Obviously you'd go in and tidy up some of the transitions. You might find some of the automation's gone a bit skew with because it's moved sections around, so you do find that some of those things are a bit odd, so just go in and fix those. But yeah, that's pretty much it.